G'day folks, hope you're doing great. We're going to take a look at the logic behind why you don't argue with an anti-white in the anti-white narrative. You can't prove them wrong, and even if you think you have proven them wrong, their conclusion in their head, in their argument, is always still white erasure, no matter what. So the only thing you can do to stop white erasure, the harm of innocent members of Western kind, is to actually address the anti-white narrative from within our white positive narrative. This is a good example of, even if you have all the arguments, even if you have all the data, all the history is on your side, and you prove them wrong 100%, and even if all experts in the world are proving them wrong, they still ignore the facts, and their conclusion is white erasure.
A TikToker has recently been going viral with a series of wild claims in her videos, such as ancient Rome didn't exist.
You went to Pompeii, did you go on a tour and pay attention?
She states absurdly that Pompeii was not a Roman site, it was instead a Greek site.
What about this temple is Roman and not just Greek? There's a Corinthian column, for God's sake.
Obviously, Corinthian columns were from Corinth, and Corinth is in Greece, so if they use Corinthian column in Italy, it means that the site is Greek. The Romans used Corinthian columns. Do you want to know what building the Romans used Corinthian columns in? The Colosseum. But I mean, what do you expect by someone who literally believes that Alexander the Great was instead Alexandria the Great, hence a woman? And whenever people present pictures and representation of Alexander that show that he clearly was a man, she calls you a misogynist. You hate women, you white supremacist. And I love the fact that she even shows the armor, so the linothorax, saying, you see, it looks like a corset. Who used corsets? Women. So basically it was just a corset of metal. And then she goes on with her belittling and insulting. Here's the thing. What does a corset of the 1800s matter when we are talking about ancient Greece? And also, sorry to say, you did demonstrate that you have no idea what you're talking about, because linothorax were made of linen, glued layers of linen. Some people say it might have been some other sort of fabric, some people say it might be leather. Definitely was not a corset of metal. The armor is made of fabric. When it comes to the fact that she keeps saying that Latin doesn't exist, of course people are showing her real extant examples of writings in Latin, including this papyrus, and when she saw that, she made a video where she said the following.
Dude, that's Greek. Are y'all blind? Just like all of you?
This is incredible how a person who can't even distinguish Greek alphabet and Latin alphabet is making videos to teach you about Greek and Latin. I mean, you don't need to know Latin and you don't need a degree. Look at the first sentence. That word is, yes, Caesar. And on the second sentence, I swear it cannot get more Latin than this. In the second sentence it says, Maxima Romanae. That it really shows that she has no idea what she's talking about. Now we reach the fulcrum of this video, the two videos in which she claims and states that Rome is a myth. It does not exist. Ancient Rome, it doesn't exist. On her first video, where she talks about the fact that Rome doesn't exist, she says,
Right, so you're telling me that you got an entire degree in classics and it never occurred to you that there isn't a single Roman document?
Of course there are a lot of documents, but I'll get back to that in a second.
It always blows my mind talking to people who have invested their lives in the study of ancient Rome, because y'all don't seem to realize it didn't exist.
And then she tells them you just wasted your time because it's the Spanish Inquisition's imagination. I don't even want to know her opinion on the Spanish Inquisition, because it's probably... Anyways.
0 primary documents. None. It's not real, dude.
0 primary document. You know, for the documents, which obviously we have a shit ton of documents in Latin, which she says it doesn't exist, but it doesn't even matter because people have brought forth all the documents to her to saying, what about this then? And then she just says, oh, that stuff was written by white, straight, rich men, so it doesn't count. And she will singularly handpick only the stuff that confirms her bias. That is specifically confirmation bias. proving her wrong in terms of look at the material evidence, it's not going to work because she's just going to refute that. And in her case, she also likes playing the victim and saying that only white straight men disagree with her. And of course, archaeology is wrong because it was created by white rich men and white supremacy and all of that.
Wow!